Very good afternoon, Mr. Sunil. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Okay, all right. Are we meeting for the first time?
This is our second time.
Okay, all right. Maybe it's been really long then.
Yes, yes.
How have you been then? What's new?
Mm, there isn't anything new, but I have been quite okay.
Just quite okay. Not
Hmm.
amazing. Just okay.
Yes, just a bit okay.
Why? What made you feel okay? Not good.
I feel that there hasn't been anything which I would feel okay that is wonderful or that is good. So I feel it's quite okay.
Oh, come on. Festive season is around. I want you to show some energy. Stay happy, isn't
Yes,
it?
I'm happy, but yes, as you asked for anything specific, so there isn't any specific that I need to be very pleased about.
Okay, all right. Makes sense. Yeah,
Yes.
so tell me, now that we are meeting after a really long time, what would you like to discuss today? Would you like to go with the topic that we have in hand, or is there any particular topic that you would like to discuss?
No, ma'am, I do not have any specific topic, but the topic we have got today, it's quite related to me.
Oh,
I
wow.
used to live a hostel life, and that's why I was amazed to get this topic.
Uh-huh. Okay, so was it like a nostalgic moment for you, the moment you went
Eh,
through the session notes?
No, I never ever go with the notes, so I just check the topic. Okay, this is the topic, and before the topic, I go for the preparation at TED.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So the topic, as you said, is quite relatable. So I would like to know from you, how was your hostel life?
Ma'am, it was a remarkable life that I ever lived, and I wish I could live that life for a very long time.
Was it during your
And
school days or during your college days?
no, I was doing BTech when I lived at hostel.
Okay, all right.
Yes. So this
Mm-hmm.
was the
So,
life where I experienced a lot of things. And it was a moment when I started living without my parents. And I learned so many things how to live without parents and how life it is and how life is when you live at hostel. You get to meet lots of people from different states. I did have friends from Himachal Pradesh. I had some friends from Chandigarh, and there were many different states I had friends from. So it was such a good time, and we used to do mischievous things. I used to be a mischief maker.
okay. See, as you said, once you stay away from your family, of course, you tend to have this resilience in yourself, because you meet people who are not like-minded. There's a lot of cultural shock as well. So, do you feel overall it helps you in personality development when you stay away from family?
Yes, it does. From there, yes, we used to have makeshift things. Here we have an iron at home, but there we were not allowed to use an iron. So what we used to do, we used to keep our clothes under our bed. Before we slept, like a day before, we needed to put on those clothes,
Okay.
and next morning they were ironed perfectly. So this was the thing. Yes, when the weather was icy, we were not allowed to use heater. We were not allowed to set anything on fire. But as I said, we used to be impish and we did adventurous things. We used to collect some of the papers and we used to find a piece of wood and then we used to put them on fire. That's how we used to keep ourselves warm.
Okay, see, the best thing about hostel life, I believe, is when you break the norms, when you break the rules.
Right.
Usually during hostel life, there's so many rules which are imposed by the warden or by the college authorities. So, what sort of rules were really allowing during your college life?
Ma'am, the rules, there were multiple rules which we had to follow, but as we barely followed any rules. The rule was that after 10, we could not go out of hostel, and we did have a specific time, that time for breakfast, time for lunch, and time for dinner. But we always went to our mess a bit late, and we used to get into an argument with the person who was there to give us food, and that's how we used to take our meal. And apart from this, yes, we were not allowed to bring anything from outside. As I said, that we were not allowed to keep an eye at our rooms,
Mhm.
and outsiders were also not allowed. But we were sharp-witted enough, and we used to make our ways, and we used to bring them our hostel.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
I think once you break any rule, there is a sense of satisfaction or achievement. Yes, finally we did something crazy, right?
yes, yes, right. And ma'am, yes, and there are multiple things that I remember about my college life or about my hostel life. And every night we wanted to do something wonderful, something which we never imagined of, which no one even could think of. So we used to leave our hostel at night, and whole night we used to wander nearby that hostel. Yes, and my hostel was in the
Were you
middle
never
of.
caught by the warden?
No, never, never, it never happened. And our warden was so strict. If he ever got to know this, he must have informed our parents, and from there, that things would have been different.
Yes.
So my college
You were quick
was.
witted. It takes a lot to stay away from warden, you know. You do something under his nose and he's still unaware of.
Yes, yes, right, ma'am. And ma'am, I was not the only one. I had some of my friends, and we all did like things like this. And we knew that if you do anything individually, then there are so many problems. But okay, if you do this, or if your friends do that, and they all will be in trouble, then you feel okay. If you are only in trouble, then there is a problem. Like, what's going to happen if you are caught by your friends, then it's good, or with your friends. So this
Okay, great.
this was the thing, yes. And then the moment we realized, okay, we were seniors there, and then we used to get our work done by our juniors. We never did anything. Our work was done by them so quickly. Whenever we went to mess, so there we never filled a water bottle. We used to carry an empty water bottle, but it was filled by our
Get it
juniors.
filled
We
by
used to.
juniors? Oh
Right, right,
God.
right.
You're quite strict, I must say.
So it was a sort of norm that was followed by seniors. They did it, their seniors did it, and we also did it. And our juniors must have done that once they were in second year or in third year.
Mm-hmm. How was your journey as a junior? You know, as of course during your hostel life or your college life, seniors tend to bother you. I remember
Yes,
we were
right.
told, let's suppose there is a competition or you need to organize the event. Although the name would be of the senior, but all the things would get done by the juniors whatsoever, be it organizing the chairs or people calling out for help, everything. So what about you? How did you deal with that phase where you were a junior?
Ma'am, initially it was so terrifying, and we were scared. Okay, our seniors would come and they would go for a bit ragging, and they would make us do unusual things or diabolical things. We had this fear in us. But I was fortunate enough. One of my seniors was from my area. He was from Delhi. Even he was nearby my area, from Jahangirpuri. Currently I am from Jahangirpuri in Delhi. So he was from there. The moment I introduced myself, he found a sort of brotherhood, and he told me, okay, don't worry, you are from my area. You don't need to do anything. Let the next person come. So that's how I was in
Okay.
my seniors' good books, and I used to do things which could bring a smile to their faces. There were many things which I can't disclose here.
People pleaser.
Right.
You have to be one. You have to be one. You know, sometimes you need to please your professors to get good grades, or maybe your seniors to get good notes. So it happens.
Yes, right.
so on and so forth. Okay, see, I think whenever you stay away from family, of course, you explore as an individual. There are many restrictions at home. Restriction in the
Yes.
terms, I would say, there are some set rules. Your parents are scared of what if you do something which is not good for you. But when you are away, you are given a free hand. You are responsible for everything that you do, be it good or bad. The major thing is at times you feel homesick. You know that homesickness come into place. You feel, although I'm surrounded by so many people, yet I'm alone. I feel lonely inside. So how you dealt with that phase? Did you ever feel so?
Yes, I did feel the same that ma'am, at the beginning I was not ready to leave my home because it was the very first time I had to live without my parents for more or less 4 years. And I did not know how I would survive, how I would manage things there. After pass or once I spent 3 months there. After that, I did not realize, okay, I had to come back to Delhi. I never felt that because I was I was usually involved with so many things. I used to spend most of my time in canteen. I tried to learn things from the local people. I was fond of Punjabi. I did my BTech from somewhere in Chandigarh.
Okay.
I used to be with local people. I used to go shopping. I used to explore the markets of Chandigarh. So that's how, and from there, whenever it was the weekend and my college was off at the weekend, so at that point of time, my friends and I used to make a plan to have an excursion. And that's how we used to explore different states. When I was there, I went to Rajasthan, I went to Himachal Pradesh, I went to Amritsar, I went to many places. Yes. So after that, I did not become homesick. I did not feel nostalgic.
Because you were
And even,
out loud. Why would you feel homesick?
yes,
You explore destinations. I think it's a best phase.
yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yes.
Great. See, when we talk about homesickness, I think it's okay somehow or the other you deal with it that, okay, I have to stay. This is my new normal, my new reality. But somewhere
Yes.
we feel we miss out on maybe home food, a few items, maybe the comfort zone. So, how was that very first day when you left Delhi?
Yes, I could not more agree with that, that the food we get from our home, we can never ever get that type of food. Either we go to any restaurant, any outlet, or anywhere, like any eateries. Talking about the food of hostel, that was below the mark. Every time there was something missing. Sometimes salt was missing, and food used to be insipid. I never liked eating food from hostel except the breakfast. Ma'am, for breakfast we used to get paratha, and for some sort of yogurt, or if a person was fond of having milk, that person could go for that. If a person was fond of tea, that person could go for this. So breakfast was scrumptious. Rest things were not up to the mark, and for that I always went out, and from there I ate. I always dined out. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But that's not good for yourself, though, every time, right?
Ma'am, for that we used to have a sort of committee, and then our seniors used to check the food. As long as they were there to scrutinize things, it was okay. But when they become lenient with that, and then same thing started to happen. Like food was not tasty, and as I said, that ingredients were not involved which we needed. So it was like food is always not up to the mark of any hostel.
Mhm. Yes, maybe not. No, we'll not say any hostel. There are some hostels which provide premium services. Maybe you pay hefty and then you get good.
Yes, 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 right,
Yeah.
right.
So it
Ma'am, so
depends.
whosoever I met, whosoever I asked about the hostel life, this always came to my knowledge. Okay, the food is not good, rest of the things are wonderful. You always have a free hand to do things. And ma'am, I had some friends, they were chain smokers, and the beginning of the month was they lived like an extravagant person. But after, once it was the end of the month, they usually run short of money. And we did have a good nexus with our guards, and from there they used to take beeri, or they used to take cigarettes from them. They borrow cigarettes from them. It was
Oh.
also the condition of boys.
Yes, they say if you want to see the adventure in life, you should go to any, you know, BTech graduate students and see how they live their life in hostel. Everything that is just nonsense in the world.
Yes, there is one more nonsense thing I would love to mention here if you allow. I
Yeah.
don't know whether it is good for this video or not. And people were into smoking cigarettes, and they were cannabis smokers. They were also opium smokers. So what they used to do in order to stop that cigarette, first they needed to empty it. So the empty cigarette, what they did, they used to throw at the roof, and it used to get stuck there. Like it
Okay.
was a sort of magic, yes.
Cool. Nice. Of course, see, I've seen people, and this is the reality. You may say that, okay, I should not talk about it, but considering the fact that nowadays there are many things which are just out there, maybe on social media platform, people find it cool that, okay, I can smoke or I can drink.
Right, ma'am.
And not just boys, it's equally with girls now. You can, it's irrespective of gender, I would say.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen that. It was my first day in college, and I remember my parents saying that whatsoever happen, you should always remember your roots. You know, it
Right, right.
happens. You're just a child who's done with
Yes, right.
grade 12. For parents, you're still a small little kid who has no knowledge about the world. So, and I saw girls, a group of girls, and having cigarettes together. I'm like, okay, this is something new. I wasn't
Yes,
aware
right.
of. It happens. So that's why I said
Yes, true,
it
ma'am.
has nothing to do with gender now. So you cannot just categorize people.
All right. I was not aware of girls. I don't know whether they are this much deep into smoking. I know girls do smoke cigarettes, but doing this at hostel, I was oblivious to it.
And I've seen people doing so. So it's not that. So first day I was like, am I at a right place or is it a mistake? So, but
Ma'am,
somehow or the other, I
how
understand.
was your experience, and which college did you do your graduation or education from? Would you mind
So
telling
I
this?
wasn't a regular student, first of all. As I was working, I started working early on in my life. So I had this notion. I was having two jobs at time when I was pursuing my graduation. So I would just go once in a month or twice in a month to show my face that yes, I'm alive or I am from the college. I
All
belong
right.
to this college. Otherwise, I would not. It was a local college, but it was
All
one
right.
of the great colleges of our locality. So the moment I got enrolled, I had nothing to do with degree. Means I wasn't interested in doing so, but I was like, okay, for the sake, you should do something. And
Right,
that's
right,
how
right.
I believe life is all about testing. I was from science background,
All
and
right.
till grade 12, I was good at it. I enjoyed doing it. But somewhere or the other, I lost interest. The moment I enrolled myself in a degree, I realized I'm not meant for this because equally I was doing the job. So I would say I did it maybe because that time I had no other option, but then
Right,
I took
right,
a
right.
career shift. So
Yes,
I
yes.
always say that it was a mishappening.
Same
And I
is with
just
me. I was also not meant for education. I went for. Yes, that's
Mhm.
right, ma'am.
Oh, you didn't pursue BTech, or you
Like
did it?
I did it, but I was not
You didn't
made for it.
continue with it. Hmm.
I did it, ma'am. I was not deeply interested in this particular thing. As you said that after 12th class, I did not have any options, and my parents wanted me to go for higher education. Then, for the sake of my parents, I went for it.
Yes, it happens, but isn't that beautiful? At least now you know what you want to do. Or
Right,
you get
right,
some
yes.
sort of clarity. I am meant for this, or this is my actual calling. Even now, I get people saying, especially, there are relatives who would say, were you not from science? What are you doing these days? So it happens. What about you? You don't get such, no sayers who say that. What are you doing? Why not BTech? Why not engineering?
Ma'am, I guess this is with every living being, and same goes with me. What I do is that I always avoid meeting my relatives, or if is there any function where I need to meet my relatives, I I do not like to go to that particular place. And still, it does not happen to me. It does happen to my parents whenever they go there, and my relatives ask
You
my
are in
father.
hibernation.
Yes, and then he's asked that what I'm truly doing, and then they tell about their children. Okay, my son is doing this. He did BTech. Now his salary package is this. But there, my father manages it, and he has become my true support. Every time he supports me, and I'm so thankful to him.
Yes, I have to agree. There was a part of my life, though I was working, but equally I wasn't getting success. It
Right.
happens, you're stuck. You're not able to see growth in your career. So then I had no answer when people would say, "What would you do next?" Right? So
Yes.
parents are really like the pillar of your strength. They understand, they stand by you. It's okay what people say, they are the ones who address. So of course, I think family plays a really crucial role in these formats where people make it difficult for you to live, isn't?
Yes, yes, yes.
You
It's
feel I don't want to
entirely
meet anyone. You feel I don't
yes.
want to go in any social gatherings, but somewhere or the other, human is a social animal. We cannot stay away. For how long you would? Right? But if someone comes to your home, where would you go then?
At my home, I like to stay out of doors as long as they are home. I keep asking my sister, I keep asking my brother, okay, are they still home or have they left? If I get to know they are still home, I like to stay out of doors or out of my home. And
Hmm.
yes, and there is one more thing, ma'am, that I personally experienced, that is that success has many father, failure is an orphan. Once you succeed in your life, people are going to have an association with you. Oh, you are my sister, you are my friend, you are my this, you are my that, you are my student, you are my teacher. Or if you are unsuccessful in life, people are going to detach from you. They would not even consider you your brother. Your real brother would not say you are his brother if you are not successful, or if your brother is successful. This usually happens.
So I'll tell you, I always maintain a board where I write quotes. So
Right.
as it's Diwali, so I was just trying to clear all the things. I was like, okay, let me just
Right.
put it. It was written there that you cannot have omelette or you cannot make omelette without breaking the eggs.
Breaking, right.
Right? Maybe
Yes.
I've written in my college days or what. But that reminded me of the fact it's important for you to face challenges. Whatsoever,
Right.
I don't think I'm successful. Of course, you are in a journey towards success, and it takes a lot to get towards zenith. But that journey teaches you a lot. If you stay with yourself and try to upskill, success is
Yes.
just yours.
Yes, right,
Then you
ma'am.
don't have to find or you don't have to escape from people. I've done Really, I've done that. I would still ask my parents, tell them that I'm not home. If they want to come, they can phone a plan. I'm having my exams. I won't be able to have a word. I've
Right.
done many things. But then all those people, as you said, that whenever you achieve something, they would be by your side and they would be like, oh God, what not? You understand. It's human psychology.
Yes, and they always say that okay, I always knew that you would move the mountains. Yes, you would be successful in life. I knew it. I always wanted to say that. I always remarked negative comments about you because I wanted to motivate you. This was my of motivating you. Yes, people say this, but their negative words do
Said
hurt
that
us a lot.
beautifully. I think if relatives had face or this emotion had a face, you would have justified it properly. I
Yes,
knew
right,
it. I knew it. You had a spark already. See, okay, life is never hunky dory. Sometimes you get challenges, but look at you today. I
right,
knew
right,
you were meant for this. But they were the same people who were saying or mocking you when you were at your tough days.
right, ma'am.
That's okay. You realize the importance of family, Sunil, isn't it? You feel that just it's written somewhere that you can count on people who are there actually for you. Right? You can count them on the fingers. So it's just your close family. Maybe the member five, six. That's all.
Yes, yes. And yes, here it reminds me of one thing, that blood is thicker than water. In
Yes.
in your bad situations, your parents when they would be with you through thick and thin. So yes, family is very important.
Essential. Oh God, we started with hostel life and we landed over family. Said a lot about relatives.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Now our session would turn to an end. It's just last 1 minute, Neil. And the session turned out really well. I would say that it was like a road, or uh, I think I went to memory lane. I think you did so. It was
Yes, I
quite
did.
interesting. And when I don't remember the very first session, believe me, it feels as if we are meeting for the first time. Maybe it was ages ago, but coming on to your communication, I must say that it was amazing throughout the session. I didn't feel that you're going out anywhere long. You never miss a chance to use any proverb or idiom. That is something
Yes.
amazing, commendable. I personally celebrate it. I love when people use idioms because, see, you should use them but not overuse. So in your conversation, there's a perfect balance,
All right, ma'am.
right?
All right.
It happens sometimes. If let's suppose I want to use an idiom, instead of using just directly, people tend to impose it. Oh, I'm using idiom. Yeah, you emphasize on, or you say it in a different tone, but you said it in a subtle way where you were able to express your emotions pretty well. I enjoyed thoroughly the session. The only feedback I would suggest is there are some words which are differently pronounced by you,
All right, ma'am.
not wrongly pronounced. See, I was in my college days once I was presenting myself, and my trainer said that, Shruti, I think you need to work on your pronunciation. I was taken aback. I never had MTI. Neither I felt that I was saying something incorrectly in terms of pronunciation. Of course, you can say so many things wrongly. So I ended up asking her out of curiosity that why did you say so? So she said that there are some words which are light to handle in language. It was not
Right.
wrong, it was different, like relatives. I
Relatives.
believe.
All right.
Believe is little soft,
All right,
right?
ma'am.
So there's some words just try to handle with, I would say, love, because this language is quite soft. The rest,
All right,
everything
ma'am.
is going great for you. Using
All right.
idiomatic phrases, taking a transition, using great bridging words. Amazing. I loved it. Rest, everything was amazing. As I said, it's okay.
All right.
Life is
Thank
all
you,
about
ma'am.
brushing up every
Yes, yes,
day.
right.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much for
ma'am.
joining
Thank
in.
you.
I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, everyone enjoys sessions with you, and so did I.
Oh,
Or so do I.
God.
Yes. Thank you.
Don't say that. The pleasure was mine. Thank you.